During a typical break-in service, I also charge the battery, check the charging system, inspect the jet pump, and check compression. So let's go get started. Another thing I like to do during the break-in service is check the compression while the spark plugs are out. It just gives you that extra peace of mind. Hold the throttle wide open while cranking your engine with the spark plugs out. When the compression gauge doesn't move anymore, that's your accurate compression. 200, all good. Before reinstalling the spark plugs, place a little anti-seize lubricant onto the threads of the spark plug. Be sure not to get any anti-seize into the case of the spark plug. Now install your ignition coils. I like to put a little dielectric grease inside of the boot. Now it's time to replace our oil filter. Where the oil filter is located on the side of the engine, spillage will occur when removing. You could use any kind of absorbent material you could find, like absorbent mat, old newspaper, paper towels, t-shirts, anything that's going to suck up that oil. Using an oil filter wrench to assist you remove the oil filter is helpful. If not, you could use a clamp type. Break the oil filter loose off of its bracket. As you can see, most of the oil stayed inside of the filter, which is good. Didn't spill all inside the hole. So we're going to clean up the bracket, make sure the mating surfaces are clean, and screw on our new oil filter. Place a little clean engine oil on the end of the O-ring to assist with a nice installation and easy removal. Cleaning up the mating surface on the oil filter bracket. Just get it hand tight and move it not even 1/8 of a turn with your oil filter wrench. Just snug it up. There we go. Now it's time to add our engine oil. This engine takes approximately 4 quarts of Yama lube. Be sure to check on your dipstick to avoid overfilling. We're going to pour in 3 quarts and then we're going to check in on our dipstick. Check your engine oil to be sure not to overfill. You want to be in between the holes on the dipstick here. Here we're at the upper level, so we're safe to start the engine. So also good practice is to lubricate the Zerk fitting that's on your intermediate housing. You'll be able to find that Zerk fitting underneath your fuse box. If you can't find the fitting, then you'll need to access it with an angled type fitting, like the one I have here. This is an angled grease fitting. If you don't have this, then you'll need to take off your fuse box. Lastly, tighten up the 10mm bolts on your battery terminal. Do not over tighten, and place a little bit of marine grease on the positive terminal to prevent corrosion. Next, we're going to lubricate our control cables and our moving linkages. On your steering cable, remove the rubber boot and work the grease in between the inner core of your cable. Also on the ball joint of the steering and in between all the slots of the reverse gate, of your nozzle, and of your reverse gate arm. This concludes all the steps in our normal break-in service. Now we're going to test run the vehicle and make sure there's no abnormal sounds or alarms. So we're going to start the engine to get the oil to circulate through the filter and to get an accurate level. Start the engine for about 10 seconds. Adding water is not needed at this time. No check engine lights, no abnormal sounds. Everything sounds good. Stop our engine. We're going to double check our oil level. And our oil level moved down slightly as it circulated into the filter, so we're going to top off. Let's go ahead and do that now. Install the oil filler cap. Start the engine briefly to recheck the oil level. About 5 seconds is good. Removing our dipstick, we're right at the top of the oil mark where we want to be, and so this oil level is at its max capacity and we're good to go. Next, wipe up any residual oil and reinstall your engine cover. This concludes our break-in service procedure. If you like what you see here today, please subscribe to our YouTube channel at WCWCC. And if you have any questions, comments, suggestions, you can email me at solmar.service@gmail.com. Please feel free to leave us any feedback in the comments section. Remember, stay tuned and stay connected. Thanks for watching.